Hey guys, Stealth here. Welcome back to From the Depths, where I have learned a new button to use. Yes, there's a new hotkey that I haven't used. And it revealed something rather interesting. Look at this. This is the strategic map, if I'm not mistaken. I thought I could only use one map mode in the actual adventure mode, but apparently that's not true. And you see these X's over there? That's resources that other ships have left behind. Just guess how much I'm leaving on the, well, I was going to say table, but see here. 2350, 1600, 5000, hello, 3300. You get the 10% displayed below. We're going to have to do some serious maneuvering in order to get these resources. And what I'm going to do is make a head for northeastern direction, just to get all of these resources. But man, this is... oh, that's near enough 9,000 resources. With 9,000 resources, I can do a whole lot for this boat. So let's start maneuvering in that direction. And currently I cannot build anything anyway, because we're pretty broke at 198 resources. But wow, I was leaving a lot of these salvage points behind. In the meanwhile, we're skirmishing with another target. We're looking at a surface contact here. This is a Marauder, 94% health. It carries 20,000 materials, which is, yes, something that I can see on this map, not so much on the other map. And I believe I need to change my setup slightly, because I think that what I'm firing are surface weapons, not so much torpedoes. Yep, okay. So we need to load. These are going to be torpedoes, apply to all. And those things should have no problem sinking that Marauder right quick. Now what I have planned for this episode is getting the resources. There we go, we just picked up one block, we got 2,500. I want to expand the VLS, the vertical launch system, to accommodate for air targets. And I want to make sure that the surrounding area is clear, so that maybe I can still do some resource gathering. Strategic map, here we go. Next bit is 1,600 resources, and then there's the big one for 5k. So, gonna make sure we're actually aligned. And for some reason, it still automatically turns about a couple degrees starboard. So I constantly have to adjust its heading in order to keep this thing going more or less straight. The problem there, I don't really know what the problem is. Why is this boat maneuvering in sad fashion? The only thing I can imagine is that my periscope is causing issues, because the rest of it seems to be rather well aligned. At least as well as can be expected, I'd say. Maybe it's the additional rudders. Could those be a problem? Something else that I want to do before I forget. Water, propellers. I'm going to add a few propellers to the bow. And these things are going to help us steer. So I want them to go active on Y and I, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. So I is going to steer it starboard a little faster now. Looks like we may have hit something. The game suddenly slows down. Shit, wrong setup. Y black, I green. Sorry, red. And on this side, same deal. I should have used mirror mode. Were they on this line? No, the one below. Okay, there and there. Means you go inverted, I think. Like that. Now we should be able to turn a little faster. Yep. Seems to be working. Okay, so where are our resources? Where's our next pickup point? The one for 1,600. We're coming up. It's going to take us a while to get there. Okay, so it's not the rudder that's causing the issues. There's something still causing a misbalance in this boat. Anyway, where exactly is our target? Is it still out there? No. It died. Left us another 2,000 resources. Man, are we going to be rich? So, this is what you get when you don't exactly check the key presets well in advance. Oh well. Right. Launch pads. Let's go for a 10-cell battery. I want to have my ejectors on here, making sure that these things get above water faster. And then the question becomes, what would be the most efficient way of launching these things? What would be the best missile setup? Because I'm pretty certain that what I have loaded right now is not it. I think we can go a little bit more efficient than that. There, we have our 6 launchers. Okay, apply to all. See, this is the thing I'm worried about. Target prediction guidance. I don't have a 1-turn. I do have 2 fins. I have a variable thruster set up to 700, and I have an active radar seeker. I'm not sure if an active radar seeker is going to pick everything up. It searches things above water based on the radar profile. So that's good. I'm just not sure if it's going to work properly. Anyway, we need to do a firing test of these things. See how far they can go. Based on their fuel, how far they can reach. Currently doing about 200 meters from target, or from launch pad. 500. Of course, it's not really fair because they're not heading out in a straight line. 700, 800, 1000. I'd say we can reach about 1,000, maybe 1,100, if we're getting optimistic. So we need to set up that local weapons controller to only fire when it actually has a range less than 1,100. Maximum range to engage, 1,100. There. We already see something that is coming in. It seems to be approaching fast, actually. Any idea what we're looking at? There. And it seems that the torpedoes are already finding the target. Or at least they're looking for it. But I'm getting some misses here. Well, not all of them. A ransack for 2,600 materials. What's going on with the torpedoes? Why are they all passing underneath the ship without hitting? Well, not all of them, fair enough. What's going on with the torps? Why are they not acting like they normally do? Ballast tanks? Yeah, it is set to float depth of 5. It has no specific buoyancy, so it should be fine. Something must be wrong. Anyway, it looks like we got a couple more resources from doing damage. And now we're still on our way to picking up this one. Actually, no, we picked up the 1600. So now we can pick up the rest of it there, the 5k. And judging by how much I have in store, 3,000, let's say 3,400 out of 16k, we should be easily able to store that. Now we have a whole lot of room here. This is partially where my torpedoes are. I can also stash a bit... Oh, looks like we got another damage in. We just jumped to 4k. I can also stash some more resources here, so some more ammo storage. No, I don't like the ammo boxes. Just to make sure we can launch these torpedoes a bit faster. Okay, so that works. Now I want to have a couple more sonar buoy launchers, but these things are going to act slightly differently from what I'm currently using. Because as one of you guys posted in the comments, it helps if you send out sonar buoys ahead of you to just increase detection. Not my detection, their detection. Yep, that's 3,000 resources. Oh, there's another bit. 282, that's a small one. We have another small one coming in. And something else, I think. Anyway, we need to set up a system that's going to help with that. Let's make sure we're actually on course for that objective here. Looks alright. A little bit more port. So, a couple of additional sonar buoys. These things are going to be using a propulsion system. I think I can mount them... where can I mount them? Here? No, I'd have to cut open the boat. I'm going to have to do that anyway. Yeah, that could work. Okay. Let's activate mirror mode. I think this could work. Okay. Let's go. Missiles. Launch pad. I want to have a gantry. It's going to be a very small launcher. It's not really meant to grow large. It's not really meant to do anything except launch a sonar buoy. Not connected, really. There. So we're going to go with a torpedo propeller. I'm going to have one fuel tank on there. That should be enough. I could probably even make these things smaller. Maybe a ballast tank. Fins. I don't really need fins. We're not going to go with a torpedo seeker. We're going to go with a sonar buoy. Maybe these things are already getting too big, actually, come to think of it. Something else that I'm going to put on here is more or less a precaution. This is a missile interceptor. It's targeting missiles. If it's within 20 meters of the target, it'll detonate. So if there happens to be something nearby, this should stop it. Okay, and now... good, we've picked up the 5K. Now I need to make sure that we have an automated control block there. It's going to manage that. Let's say we had sonar buoy on there, we had the missile seeker. It's more or less, if a missile happens to wander into range, that's when we're going to take it out. That's really all that does. Where are my fins? Torpedo propeller, one fuel tank, one ballast tank. And let's set that thing up as a movable sonar buoy. Like that. Now we can save him on the other side as well, or load him on the other side. Like that. Now we're going to need an ACB to fire these things. Control, automated control block. Yeah, that should do. Range to enable 2 blocks. Weapon system, fire weapons, effect delay. Oh, I don't know, every 20 seconds, something like that. It's only going to fire when it wants to. But this thing cannot be fired because they don't have enough sonar buoys. Or at least not enough sonar buoy holders. Weapon system, fire. Activate every 20 seconds. Oh damn, I set up the other one wrong. Activate every 20 seconds, effect delay, none. Yeah, now it launched. Can we test the other side as well? Make sure that thing actually departs. Which it doesn't. We're probably gonna have to give my AI mainframe a few more buoys. Or at least buoy holders. That's a missile. Sonar buoy holder. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's going on? We're taking torpedoes? And lots of them too. What the hell is going on? Ooh, I don't like this at all. That thing just knocked off my periscope. And we're also taking laser damage. Oh, snap. Now, I'm not sure if smoke screens actually work underwater, but I'm gonna go with probably not. Fortunately, we have plenty of resources left, so we should be fine. But I still don't like this. What are we dealing with? There, the chorus. Is that a surface target or a subsurface? Not really too sure. Let's set up our anti-air missiles and see if they can catch him. Yeah, sort of. They're coming about. What are they doing? Where is the target? There it is. Go get him. Go and get this bastard before he blows us up. Come on. Ah! Missed. How about the others? Yep, some damage. Alright, let's hand those missiles over to the AI. And in the meanwhile, let's see if these things are actually willing to fire. Yep, they are. Okay. Just need to set up the launcher. God, how did you do that again? There was a way, I think it's the launch pad. Go ahead and say. There was a way that you could set these things off at an angle. But I'm really not sure where. So, like you're not firing dead ahead, you're firing at an angle, say 45 degrees out. That would be a little bit better in this case. Missile controller required accuracy? No, it doesn't require accuracy. No, that's not it. Where did you find that option? Right, I'm gonna leave that to you guys. Where do I find that option? How can I get there? In the meanwhile, how's that chorus doing? Because we hit it a few times. I'm not oh, there it is. I was gonna say it's dead, but it's not dead. It's actually moving pretty quick. And it seems to be engaging something with a laser. Yep, long-range target. It's going for a casket bolt. And do we have multiple targets here? Yeah, we do. Hoplite and a sparrow. Interesting. Look at that thing. How many resources do you have left? 70,000? Bloody hell. But this... that was the thing that was harassing us. That's a shooting star. That's not what I was expecting, really. Anyway, let's make turns and go for that objective over there. Another almost 3,000 resources. For some reason, though, these missiles refuse to fire. Possibly because they're... yeah, they're too far away. We could set this up to 5 meters, really, so that it won't fire at subsurface targets, but it will engage targets that are getting close enough. Seriously, how do you do that? The offset thing. Must be me. Anyway, I'm going to reattach my passive sonar array because I want to have a system that is able to return fire with missiles against something along the likes of a torpedo. So we're going to have a sort of counter torpedoes. So AI, local, no, not local weapon controller, detectors, passive sonar 360. Currently not tracking anything. And we need to close up that section again. There. Now, I know that initially I painted this thing black. We've come a long way since then. both in literal terms and figuratively. So it's going to be a while if I'm going to actually want to paint this thing black. Oh, by the way, there goes our sonar buoy. At least one of them. Is it working, the sonar buoy? Currently tracking. Oh, we don't have enough power. We need to fix that. We have one of them not tracking anything. Not tracking. Not tracking. Okay. General purpose processing cards. The AI is, or the mainframe is getting a bit big at this point. Yeah, we have 17 power for general purpose processing and we need 11, so we're doing fine. Okay, getting close to that one. Any others that I neglected? 1300. There's another one for 3.5. How much does that resource zone have left? 2000. 158. Let's say 1058. This one is 2700. But I'd rather blow something up and then harvest whatever is left than actually try and stay on the surface. Hang on, I think we're firing on anti-air missiles at this point. Go and get him. Hit. A couple of good hits there. Hit, hit, hit. Somehow it keeps jumping. What is that? Some sort of warp drive? It does look like it's trying to hit us, though. Question is it? Another salvo of missiles going up. Hit. Hit. Come on. Yep. I'm trying to knock out his propulsion, at least that's what I'm hoping is going to happen. Because if his propulsion goes down, then the whole thing goes down and my torpedoes will eat him alive. We're slowly, percent by percent, taking him apart. He just keeps popping flares behind him. In the meanwhile, my torpedoes are actually seeking another target by the looks of it. I'm not really sure what, though. How did I set up my torpedo local controller? Because if that thing is set up to just fire at everything, then yeah, it won't really work. Aha. Maximum altitude to engage. How about 2 meters? Because we're trying to fire torpedoes at an aerial target. That is not likely to work. We did pick up another bunch of resources. Oh, hello. Another marauder. Let's go for the large portion over there. Yeah, that one's not too valuable. We are getting really, really rich here. I have 10,000 in store. Now, ship stats. My price is 23,528. Meaning that I'm pretty... well, I'm almost halfway through rebuilding a second sub of this type. Not likely to do it, because it's not really likely to actually work out well. At least, in my experience, handing off a submarine to an AI, it has never really gone very well. But I could do it if I wanted to. What I could do with this, well, this sort of halfway deck, is set up a couple of advanced cannons and use those for missile defense. That could work. This is what some of you put down in the comments. If I have an advanced firing piece and I think a couple of small caliber or large caliber, I'm not sure, I'm going to have to reread that. These things can work as missile interceptors, even torpedoes. So that could work. But I'm going to do that next episode. This is probably going to take another, well, 20 minutes, if not more, to build that system. In the meanwhile, continue heading for our next stash of resources and see what these guys are skirmishing about. Looks like somebody else died there. Yep, we're still seeing a skirmish. The Marauder is facing off against that shooting star. Now you can see that shooting star is constantly draining materials. His own cost is going down. I think that what we're seeing right here is him draining his own fuel. Ooh, that looked like it hurt. He's draining his own fuel, which means that he's going to be at some point running out of fuel. Now, he has 100,000 points of fuel left. 99,000. So this thing is going to stay airborne for quite a while, and once it's done, it should be landing and making itself much more of an easy target. It also has a fair amount of resources on board, especially if you keep delivering hits like that. The AI just died there. I wonder if he's going to steal the resources. 1 second. Disappearing. Yep, he got him. Apparently his maximum material storage is 3k. But he's still burning like a lot of fuel. He's not regenerating any of it. I think these torpedoes were meant to go for the Marauder that just died. Make course correction. Now something else I want to check is if I'm still generating a large profile. I mean, yes, on sonar, absolutely. We're looking at heat, so we have a guaranteed detection at 105 meters. Visible, not so much. Radar range doesn't work underwater, so we're fine there. Sonar. Bow profile 734, side profile 2,766 meters. Huh. Interesting. 2764, 2766. That might be this block. That might be the problem. At least I imagine so. For some reason my periscope's not really too eager to get up. Not that I need it, but it's not really responding to commands. Whereas it really should be. What's going on here? It is set to go up and down. Okay. Now, I know that there are blocks which can help you get less of a radar or sonar return. That's rubber blocks. Vehicle-on-vehicle collision. I believe that this also... Well, actually, that's radar return. Does it help against sonar as well? 2740. 2712. So yes, it does help against sonar. In that case, since I'm rather rich, let's use that to basically apply an anechoic layer on the submarine. Anechoic, if you're not familiar with the term, is basically fancy English for does not leave an echo. And I know that this is not really going to allow me to remove the entire sound profile that I'm returning, but it should help. Unfortunately, I only have these things in single blocks and not 4-meter beams, which would speed this up significantly. Alright, so now looking at 2500, Fill it up. 2068. That is a nice improvement. Unfortunately, it's still 2000, so we scraped off about 700 meters-ish. But it doesn't really translate well to blocks like these. I could go either for a nice look or for a sonar return. Not really sure what to go for. Still, 2000 meters is guaranteed detection, so anybody dropping a sonar buoy, yeah, they're going to basically instantly detect me. Which, considering the size of my boat, I imagine is not really surprising. We are, however, losing depth pretty quickly as well. Time to add some more lead blocks to the keel. Come on. Make yourself heavier. Minus 32. 34, 35, 36. Yep, now we're going down again. Still on course for that resource plot. 2211. Where is our target? Is it? Yep, it's still circling around. Currently at 83,000 fuel. Our shooting star. I think that our shooting star might not have a subsurface detector. Yeah, it keeps jumping. Sort of warp drive this is. The warp drive, by the way, is something that I have never used. The warp controller is the main component of a warp drive system. Three states: charging, warp, and idle. They move from one stage to the next. The distance your vehicle warps depends on the length of your warp rod and the direction. Each warp controller can support two rods in different directions. The chargers you attach also increase the distance you can warp. I have never used these, so I'm going to have to watch a tutorial before I know how these things work. And if you guys want to explain that to me in the comments, that would be very much appreciated. Because I think that using a warp drive, especially considering we already have quite a large battery, at least by my standards, 16,000. We already have quite a large battery, and we have a pretty decent set of RTGs on board. So we should be able to generate enough power in order to get the warp drive going. But, as I mentioned, I have never used them. So I'm not exactly sure what we would need to do, how many of those installations I would need to build, just in order to keep this thing going. Talking of going, we're not going very quick, are we? I'm going to take those off. We're going to add 4 of them back. Primary, 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 primary. Speed, 10 meters per second. That's an improvement. I just want to get that last bit of resources for 3,315, and then I'm going to call it a day. Oh, we have something on our stern. Hello. Aren't you small and cute? Well, he's small, he's probably not cute. 10,000 resources. And is that a laser that he's using? What is that? Yeah, it's a laser targeting system, I think. Just not sure if it's actually painting a target or just static. Wherever is our other target? Because I don't think that that thing died. That would be not so likely, judging on what we've seen. There he is. Judging on what we've seen from him so far. He seems to be engaging our Retarius. Sorry, Retiarius, my bad. keeps jumping. What's your altitude? 300 meters up. Okay. He's now... Ooh, you're lucky, son. If those missiles had a few more fins, you'd have a problem. Instead, he basically instantly wiped out the Vertiarius. He's probably going to steal the resources as well. I mean, it's his kill, fair's fair. Yep, about 800. Well, he can have that. Yeah, 68,000 fuel. I just have to wait for that guy to run out, and then we'll take him down. Anyway, that's it for this episode. Today, we have our vertical launch system, we have sonobuoys, and the question here is how do I make sure that these things fire off to the sides? We have an anechoic layer on the sides of the boat, limiting detection radius by another 700 meters. And the next bit that I'm going to work on is probably the side-mounted advanced cannons against missiles or torpedoes that are coming in. If you have any suggestions for those, let me know down in the comments, and otherwise I'll see you tomorrow for the next episode of From the Depths.